Oh man. I think even though I like doing this on my second channel, I'm not gonna lie. There are times where I do sound like a bit of old man. Maybe I'm just an old head, and I can admit my old headness. But then again, I'm a guy that doesn't mind traditional values, but I do think every generation. I just want to start like this. I do, as a person, I do believe in traditional values. I do believe that every generation defines what traditional values are. It's like I feel like you take things from the old and then you try to make new and what fits in your world and what fits in your, space. All right, like what worked. I feel like the things that work from the old heads probably does not work well in here because how things change and how things are um evolving. Like you got like every once in a while you have to update. Just like we're like computers. Like sometimes an old computer, as much as you want to like put work in it, you know that it's not going to run as well as the brand new computer with the latest and greatest. Like a old 80s Apple monitor is not going to be is going to not going to have as much power as a Mac in 2021. So that's obviously. So it's like even though you could like I have a laptop that's I've gotten like 2014 or some shit like that. And I haven't got a new laptop until 2021. And my laptop now can't even run Adobe. Like I have to use my sister's laptop just to run Adobe. So this is what. So what I'm saying is, and what does this have to do with the thumbnail and the title? Okay. First things first, I want to say this has really nothing to do with LGBT, but it's more or less to do with the allies. Like I have no problems with the LGBT, and I've said this plenty of times. I do not have problem with the LGBT. I feel like everybody should live their truth, or live the way they should without, people judging you or like people trying to define. Even though people are going to do it anyway, I do feel like if this is your truth, you got to live it and you got to strut it the best way you can. Let's just say that. This is like I know people like say, I want to live in a world where there's no discrimination. I said, look, to me as a realist, that will never happen because as long as there are hate in this world, someone's not gonna like something. All right, and then some things is just not hate. It's just I'd rather prefer this over this, and that is fine. And just depending on like, just don't push it on other people. Now, Demi Lovato thinks gender reveals are transphobic. Now, as a personal, I believe in traditional values. I do believe men are supposed to be men and women are supposed to be women. I do think that's just where society is going now. That women's getting more jobs. Um, that a lot of women are in the work field now. Like no longer the women are like stay at home moms and all that other stuff. The way the economy is set up, especially like places in like New York, DC, and LA, both people probably have to get jobs, and both people have to make a living. And so, like the days of I think the days of traditional values are over, especially if they don't move the economy wage up. But that's another fucking story. All right. As far as like I believe, I've said this before. I do believe if you're a man, you were born a man. Even if you transition over, I still think you're a man. With that being said, I don't hate people. I don't I still want you to lose your not lose. I want you to live your life to the fullest. Like that doesn't change my ways. I don't think this is hypocritical. Just because I don't think you're a man, hell, I'll even go to the fact that I will call you a she because it doesn't really hurt me. I will still think even though I still think you're a man. If you want to be called a she, I will call you a she. It doesn't hurt me no like no way no how because I don't. Because in the end of the day, I don't care. But if you ask me my preference, if you're asking me my preference and all that other stuff, yes, I think even if you transition over to a woman, I still think you're a man. But I do want you to live your life to the fullest, and I do think it's fucked up that people kill you because you are trans. And like I know there are people out there that kill people just because they are trans. That is fucked up, and you shouldn't have to go through that. And with that being said, I don't understand, and this is not really concerning the LGBT, but it's more or less the allies. I do not like. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not like allies. I think allies do way too much, especially in this day and era. It's just one. I feel like allies should be seen and not heard. I feel like if they really support you in your cause, they will help you with your cause. But a lot of them, they feel like they can speak for you. And me personally, and this is just me personally, y'all can agree. I don't think a lot of these allies should be speaking for y'all. One, because I feel like a lot of them go off in emotion and not logic. And two, I just feel like they're the ones that you the ones they're the ones that you see on TV doing the looting and like let's not even talk about the LGBT part. Allies in general, not just for LGBT. I know this is about Demi Lovato and Tracy. It's just this really is not about her because she believes whatever she wants to believe. It's not even about that. It's about the allies. This is really about allies. Now it's just Demi Lovato is just like how I transition into it. I don't like I said don't have a problem with LGBT, but I like allies, even like allies for Black people. I do not like them. I'd rather them be seen and not heard. Like like how Japan was like, I'm in support of Black Lives Matter. That's being seen and not heard. It's like I support you. I feel like when this shit was George Floyd and everybody was mad. Yeah, that shit is fucked up. I'm on your side. To me, that's all I need from you. I don't need you to speak for it. And the problem is, and we get too many people speak for you, and sometimes, and this is where I feel like the other side gets this. Even we don't get me wrong, because everybody does this between the left and the right. You get probably the dumbest person, or you're like the most gung ho person, and they spewing out whatever the fuck you did. And then when you bring out stats, they're allowed to tell you there's fake news, or some people will tell you, oh, I don't have that type of information on me, or you get, people just don't. Even when you put information in front of them, they don't fucking care. I've seen it done on the left. I've seen it done on the right. I've seen it done for Black people, and I've seen it done against Black people. So, with that being said, I've always felt like this. Even when I've seen people even like defend Black Lives Matter, or um, Black people in general. Don't speak for me. Don't speak for my struggle. If you're not, I'm the type of person to feel like if you're not Black, don't speak for me. All right. Is if you don't like, you may understand, but you're not going through that struggle. The same way for like, I would not speak for a trans person. It's like I can understand it, but I will never go through it unless I become trans myself. But as far as that, sometimes I leave stuff alone as a straight Black man and then gone into like trans and like trans issues. I leave it alone. I do look it up. I do my information and I do my research. But as far as like speaking for them, I'd rather you talk to a trans person about that. You don't talk to like, what do you think about the trans? I think you should talk to, like, if someone asks you, what do you think about the trans struggle? I was like, I would say, I'd rather you talk to a trans person. I don't know their struggle. Like I can understand it, but I don't know their struggle. Like I can tell you it's fucked up. From outside looking in, it's fucked up. But hindsight 2020, I'm never going to understand their struggle because I don't live it. Unless you live it, you probably won't really get it. Now, do I feel like, and I'm the type of person, yeah, even though you can understand, like I said, I'm repeating myself, I'm on my Umar shit. Yes. And I feel like with allies, even though, especially white allies for like the Black struggle, you may live it and you may even understand it a little bit, but you're going back to your privilege. You're still going back to your privileged life, which is why I don't care about white privilege at all. It's just like you're gonna like even if you're for Black lives and you feel like chances are you're like at the end of the day you're still going back to your privilege. It's like what are you doing to help? Like what are you doing to help this Black struggle instead of just shouting Black Lives Matter? Because I don't. Because it's like all that's good, but it's just like you're not gonna do nothing else. It's like the people who's just like you see a homeless person and it's just like, oh man, you know, keep it up, keep it in there. You'll get through it. Instead of helping them, it's like you have a house, you probably have a room that you can like give out to somebody, especially some of these people. Yeah, you're not bringing a homeless in, helping them get on his feet. If that homeless person wants to get on their feet, because I know there's people that are homeless that rather live out on the street. Like, yeah, there are people that rather live out on the street. I understand that, but you see, like but most people, you get what I'm saying. It's like you see these people, they struggling, and like you have the resources to help them, and yet you don't. That's how I feel about allies. It's just like this, like hang in. Majority of y'all, because I know there are allies that do like try to help change the system or do try to help other black people with their shit and all that other stuff. But it's just like most majority of y'all, it's just like keep it up. I feel your pain, and you do work, and then you go back to your privileged lives and doing whatever the fuck you was doing. It's like y'all don't really give a fuck. And that's or like y'all give a fuck too much, and y'all start speaking for them, and y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Like I would, and then when like someone actually with some common sense like checks y'all catch an attitude. I've seen both sides of that. It's just like, yo, before you speak for, and this is what I tell people, like if you want to be an ally to black people, before you speak for me or before you speak for my people, learn the fucking information. It's cool, like your passion, that's cool. All that shit, that Black Lives Matter to a point is cool. But if you're not doing nothing to help us get out of the struggle, what kind of ally are you? And this is like, and this is how I feel about Demi Lovato's comments. Look, I understand that we're in a day and age of, you know, people, standing against gender norms and like we're battling the traditional norms and misogyny and patriarchal society and some shit like that. And like people do that all the time. Oh, this is transphobic. This is so and so. What about the trans people? It's just like now I don't. Last time I checked, and my stats could be wrong. It was like what the trans community is like. What 2% of the population? So, and I'm gonna be look. Like I said, I don't like seeing y'all killed, but at the same time, like 80% of the time, I don't care. It's like I said, your life, their lives don't affect my life. It's like their lives don't affect my life. At least I'm honest about it. I don't know if anybody else would be honest about it, but it's just like I don't want to see them like get killed over like no dumb shit. But at the same time, like any other struggle that they have, I don't fucking care. I go because I'm going to go back to my gender norms and my traditional values and my other shit at home. It's like at my house, or it's like in my house or around my society, I'm going to go with the traditional values. Like we can have a debate about that, and you can have yours. That is fine. I'm not going to push my beliefs on you. I've never done that out of his religion or like your beliefs or your political beliefs. It was like if that's what you feel, that's fine. But I do feel like sometimes, and the allies do it the most. I I know there are trans people. I know there's videos of trans people saying like if you don't date trans people, you transphobic. It's just like I think a lot of people should. Me personally, I ignore it. It's just like, oh well. And like I have my I don't want to say questions, but I have my opinions on that. But at the same time, that's neither here nor there. But as far as like some of your allies, it's just like, yo, just chill. Sometimes you gotta tell. I do believe like even like we have to tell our allies, yo, just chill, back up. Back up, especially if you don't know what the fuck you talking about. It's like I appreciate your energy and I appreciate your enthusiasm, but back the fuck up, chill. I got this. I know more about this, so I got this. All right. So that's my little rant. That's my little rant for today. Like the allies get on my nerves, and I've always felt like that. Don't matter who you're ally for, y'all get on my fucking nerves, and I feel like y'all should be seen and not heard. So let me know what y'all think. Um, do y'all feel the same way that I do, that allies should be seen and not heard, or do you feel like allies should speak for you too? Like I said, if you know your shit, then you can go ahead and talk that shit. But if you just a passionate person and you just want to support it because it's right, I'm glad you're doing it, but don't speak for us. It's like just be seen and not heard, and that's just me in general. So let me know what y'all think. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.